you mentioned Stephen Miller, and he's kind of in the news today because of his wife, Katie Miller, who went on CNN and had a very interesting exchange with Abby Phillip, who tries to act like she's just totally benign, just totally neutral. You know, it's just the facts that make her always come down on the side of the Democrats. It's not her bias. It's just the facts. She can't be in charge of the fact that all the facts run in favor of Democrats. That's just how it goes. So they had an exchange on her show, and I'll just let it play out. You'll get it. This is Friday night, SOT 26.
Wait, you have Jennifer Welch on your show very often, and you've never pushed back as she has called my husband a white nationalist.
Hold on.
That is no
Katie.
different than Nick Fuentes going on Tucker Carlson's show. It's not, and you should admit it.
Well, hold on. Wait, hold on. How is it anything similar? It's not remotely similar at all. Nick Fuentes sits around and says that he likes Hitler. How is that similar?
What does Katie have to do with it? What does she have to do with it?
Hold on.
She has nothing to do with it. Literally nothing.
Scott, Katie is the person who just said to me that it is comparable to say that Nick Fuentes, who is literally a neo-Nazi, is the same as somebody, a liberal, who has an opinion who is not a neo-Nazi. They are not
a hateful opinion.
The same.
How do you want? Excuse me. Let's go back to this point one more time.
But
Nick
Katie,
Fuentes can espouse an opinion on Tucker Carlson's show,
it is not
and
the same
he didn't push
thing.
back the same way you didn't
Katie,
push back when someone called someone in my family a Nazi.
Hold on a second.
It's not different.
Hold on a second.
It's not.
If someone comes on this show and says, I love Hitler and I admire what he did, they would never, first of all, I would never invite them on the show and they would never be invited back. So those two things are not the same thing.
But yet you've gone on Jennifer Welch's podcast. It's the same thing.
Okay, so Jennifer Welch came up. I think I said that's Stephen Miller's wife, Katie Miller, but also she was on Doge. She's an independent professional in her own right and a podcast host. That Jennifer Welch, who I'm just now getting to see in these podcast clips, who is possibly the most hateful person in the national dialogue today. It's like tough to say, but even Joy Reid is more joyful than this woman. She's truly deeply, deeply hateful of everybody on Team Red. Here's just a sampling of this person who Abby Phillip is totally fine with, has on her show repeatedly, went on this woman's show herself, Abby Phillip did, not hateful. See, Stephen Miller, hateful. Jennifer Welch, not hateful. That's Abby Phillip's world. Here, watch.
Shockingly, the conservatives that I thought were just crusty old white people have morphed into this young group of misogynists. And I can tell you, when I'm around white people, they test the racist water. They test it on people like you all. Stephen Miller is a Nazi and he is a sociopath. He is a little insecure white supremacist. This guy was bullied in high school, and he's unattractive, and he's 4'10", and nobody fucking likes him. You get to J.D. Vance, who is a failed drag queen, because little Moses Mike Grinder Johnson worships two things: Donald Trump and his closeted life. For this dementia-ridden, diaper-wearing sack of shit, he started off his 60 Minutes interview by saying, I am not a Nazi. Okay? He clearly is a Nazi. People that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit. No one.
You got it? Not hateful. It's fine. Abby Phillip that's just a liberal with an opinion. That's how she described her. Stephen Miller, with his immigration crackdown, supported by the vast majority of Americans, hateful. Clearly, Abby Phillip has no problem with him being called a white supremacist or a Nazi, because she was actually on Jennifer Welch's show when Jennifer said that directly to Abby Phillip. Fine. Your thoughts?
I just think the left has to play by the same rules as they want the right to play by, and if they want to be the police of who can speak on the national town square, then they need to recognize that they've got policing to do in their backyard as well. And right now, that's just not how they feel, and they should, because they should either let everybody speak or they should police their own side.
But here's what's happening there. I mean, you're being polite, but Abby Phillip finds absolutely nothing wrong with what that woman said. I guarantee you she agrees with all of it. Yeah. She's a fan of this Welsh person. And so she wants her to come on her show, I think 4 times we counted. She said yes to going on this person's show. Then this woman, do we have the soundbite, you guys? I don't know where we are, but like in the SOT lineup. But she went on her show, and the woman said it directly to her. Here's that. Listen to this. There was no pushback. Here's what Abby Phillip tried to just sort of say. Oh, gee, I don't know what's in his head. Gee, could be white supremacist. Who can know? Watch.
Stephen Miller is a white supremacist. I mean, he is, and he's basically running the White House. They keep Trump busy with his decorating projects. He's got building the arch now. He's got his Oval Office design. And then you have these real sociopaths that are real anti-Semites, true white supremacists like Stephen Miller. And even though he's Jewish, he's like a Nazi Jew.
Well, look, I can't speak to what Stephen Miller's motivations are.
You're such an asshole. I'm sorry, but Abby Phillip is a fucking asshole. She let her call him a Nazi Jew and just said, I'm sorry, but I can't speak to what his motivations are. What a cowardly dodge, just to try to maintain some semblance of objectivity. The only proper response to that is, come on, hold it. We can criticize his immigration policy all day long if you want. Don't call him a Nazi Jew. That's disgusting.
Well, she calls balls and strikes. She's never seen a Democrat throw anything but a strike.
She's going to have her glasses readjusted really soon. But this is the mainstream of CNN, Mark.
Yeah.
This is the reinvented, more mainstream, moderate CNN. That's truly one of the faces of it.
If Paramount buys them and Ellison, enacts his vision, I'd be surprised if she's still in that job.
Good. Get her, Ellison. Go, Barry. You can do some crossover programming. They're going to need your help. Get her. Get rid of her. And by the way, she will fail in the independent lane because she has no personality. She has a lot of bias and no personality. It's a bad combo, actually, but perfect.
She's making our friend Scott Jennings rich.
Well, that's good. We're in favor of that. But he can go on some other loser show at CNN for that when she gets fired. Something else happened on regular TV, CNN, with Abby Phillip, that actually is kind of interesting. And that is the son of Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas went on and reportedly, as Maureen would say, allegedly, did not do that well, to the point where, hold on, I'm just going to give you the headline before we play it. The parents are said to be so furious with CNN that they intend to blacklist the entire network moving forward. Now you're having Scott Jennings weigh in on this and others as well. This is from a debate that happened on November 10th, but is only now causing
Can I ask you a question?
The response.
Before you can. Because I
Yeah.
skimmed the New York Post story. What does their son do for a living? Like, why was he on CNN?
It's funny you should ask. He is host of SiriusXM's Young Americans with Dylan Douglas and a 2022 graduate of Brown University, which is pretty much all we need to know about him.
Was going to guess Wesleyan, but okay.
His Gen Z political show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. Must have missed it. What were you going to say,
I said
Mark?
I would have guessed Wesleyan, but Brown's okay.
Brown. I mean, it literally, there's no school in the nation to which I would less want to, I would, there's no school worse than Brown when it comes to Woketopia. They're number one. They're worse than Columbia. They're number one.
Oberlin is number one.
No, what's worse about Oberlin? I know they're terrible.
Do you know the story?
They've been ensconced in scandal. But truly, I think Brown is an outpost for Hamas. I think that's almost literally true. Almost. But they're so bad.
Oberlin's bad. Oberlin's really bad.
Come on. Oberlin is not, like, if you...
Let's go undercover.
People say, like...
Let's go undercover. Could we pose... Do you think we could both pass for college students? Let's go undercover.
Here's what I'd like to do. Go undercover as a Jewish American and go to Brown University. And, like, if I were a man, I'd wear the yarmulke. I'd do, like, something to make it obvious, because they are breeding anti-Semites, in my opinion, at Brown University. It's disgusting. It's worse than any place.
All right, let's do this. Let's get a makeup artist who can turn you into an Orthodox Jewish man, and I'll get a camera,
I think we just have to take off the makeup and then wear like the right hair.
Let's go to brown, and we'll go to the Hillel, and then you'll walk out, and we'll just shoot the whole thing and see what happens.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'll be lucky if I make it across campus because that university is disgusting. In any event, back to Mr. Douglas, Dylan, that is, who's the dual Nepo baby, and this is what. Look at this. This is reportedly what has his parents so irate over his, quote, humiliation, allegedly at the hands of CNN, that they're going to boycott the network. Here.
You cannot put on the American people that Democrats were the one that were hurting people, making this plight.
Who was casting the votes against opening the government, Democrats or Republicans?
Who was
casting the votes?
Scott, who was wanting to cut SNAP benefits?
Nobody.
Republicans
playing up
SNAP benefits after 2 courts ruled that it was unallowed?
Republicans voted to fund SNAP 15 times. Democrats voted to defund it 15 times.
You talk about the Affordable Health Care Act. Okay,
it's terrible.
Landmark legislation is not perfect. We understand that Democrats, Republicans, independents, 70% of Americans, not Democrats, not just independents, 70% of Americans believe that they should increase those subsidies past the dead mark of December, the COVID era subsidy benefits. So it's a huge, huge thing that Democrats, Republicans, 70% agree with. And look, when it comes to the government shutdown, I was of the persuasion that to go for it, I didn't really get it. Democrats wanted a fight. They got a fight. Chuck Schumer, back in last year, didn't fight. He got a lot of flack for it, particularly in his home state of New York. So they wanted a fight, but they found a fight that was worth fighting with talking about the Affordable Health Care Act. People were with them. Democrats were leading in the polls. We won big on Tuesday.
That's what it was for, right? It was for the election, right?
Well, I think we should have kept going. What I don't understand, and which I would love others to help me out understand, I don't understand why we caved so soon when the American people seemed to be on our side.
Because the election ended. You just said it. It was for the election.
Listen,
the election ended. Then you caved.
That's it?
Seems like normal, like whatever. I'm booking him on Next Up, by the way. Right now.
Are you?
Now.
You should.
Right
Will
now.
you do it?
I'm trying right now. As we speak, I'm using my hand off camera to text the booker and say, I want that kid.
I actually would listen to that.
Yeah.
Let's see if he does any better with you. He didn't do well. I mean, that's clear. He wasn't substantive, and he didn't have his talking points lined up, never mind actual substance. But did anyone expect any different? Like, why did they think their 22-year-old son would go on to CNN across from the Scott Jennings of the world and do well? Why did they think that?
I mean, I don't know. For a liberal in a CNN pundit slot, I didn't think he was so bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but I didn't feel like he was.
I mean, with those qualifiers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could name names.
22.
I could name names, but I mean, I thought whatever, like grading on the normal curve. I don't know. If I were his parents, maybe they didn't like the part in his hair. I would redo the hair.
Ever read the label on a typical bag of chips? It's often a science experiment of seed oils, MSG, artificial dyes, and mystery ingredients. Masa is part of the growing movement to bring back real food. Masa chips contain just 3 ingredients: organic corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. Not only do these chips avoid the bad stuff, they also taste delicious too. Snacking on Masa chips is nothing like eating regular chips. With Masa, you feel satisfied, light, and energetic with no crash and no bloat. And if you love Masa, then you will love Vandy Crisps. Vandy, which is Masa's sister company, makes the most delicious 3-ingredient potato chips too. Ready to give Masa or Vandy a try? Use code MK for 25% off your first order at masachips.com or vandycrisps.com, or simply click the link in the video description or scan the QR code to claim this delicious offer. Don't feel like ordering online? Masa and Vandy are now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket. Stop by and pick a couple of bags up before they're all gone. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.